once overlook your presence. When you finally relax, you return to the natural rhythm of life. You stop chasing, you stop pushing. When it in the hearts of those who once up to overlook your presence, you stop trying to make things happen, and in that stillness, life begins to move for you. Realize that all the struggle, who once overlook your presence. All the tension was never needed to receive what was already yours. You cannot receive while you are tense. You cannot attract while you are anxious. Once overlook your presence. Relaxation is the open door through which all that you desire enters. Everything you are longing for is not far away. Who once overlook your presence. It is not something you have to climb to, as it is something that appears the moment you let go. When you rest your mind, who once overlook your presence. When you quiet the noise of doubt and impatience, what you desire begins to move toward you naturally. Love echo in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, as though it had been waiting for the signal of your peace. You relax stays the evidence that you already trust the unseen. In the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, that you already believe you're provided for, that you already know you are guided. The universe does not respond to your struggle. Where in you presence, it is who wants to overlook your presence, responds to your energy, says, I will in your energy have it what when you already have it, when your heart feels calm, things align effortlessly. If you echo on your hearts overlook your presence. This is why those who live in calm confidence seem to attract everything with ease. They are not forcing anything, they are allowing everything. When you're in the hearts of the ones overlook your presence, they know that what is theirs cannot be taken, that what they imagine with faith must appear in form. In the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, you have spent so much time trying to control the outer world, trying to make people, events, and outcomes bend to your will. Who never look your presence, but once all of that control, fear adverse from fear first, you fear that if you sing everything will fall apart. Yet the truth is, those who once overlook your presence. Everything comes together the moment you release that fear. When you stop controlling, you begin creating. When you relax, in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, you align with the higher power that moves worlds. It knows exactly how to bring your desires to you in perfect timing and perfect sequence. Who also once overlook your presence. Notice how nature never hurries, yet everything is accomplished. The tree does not strain to grow, the flower does not force itself to bloom. Who once overlook your presence. They unfold because their essence already contains the pattern of perfection. You too have that pattern within you. You too have a divine rhythm, a timing for in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, when you are in natural ease, when you allow yourself to return to that original harmony. You stop resisting the current of your own becoming. How those once overlook your presence, there is a power that works through you, a wisdom that knows the way even when you cannot see the way. When you once overlook your presence, you know you do have a need to understand every step or see every detail of how your desire will unfold. All you must do is trust the unseen order of life. Stand the hearts of those who once overlook your presence. Trust that when you release tension, when you surrender control, when you breathe deeply and rest in faith, everything you need is already moving toward you. Once overlook your presence. The answers are forming on the opportunities are aligning, the people are being guided, all in response to your calm expectation. Once overlook your presence. Think I take relaxation not as doing nothing, but as doing the most powerful thing possible, becoming one with what you desire. When you are relaxed, you in the heart of those who once overlook your presence, your imagination becomes fertile. You can see clearly, feel deeply, and believe fully. In that state, every image you hold becomes magnetic in the hearts of your presence. If you once overlooked this, the clearer you're in a picture, the faster the outer world rearranges itself to match it. This is why when you are anxious, things seem to delay. Once we in the hearts and overlook your presence, and when you are peaceful, everything flows. Your outer world is the reflection of your inner vibration. If you hold an inner state of rest, in the hearts who once overlook your presence, you find that your outer circumstances also rest into place. People will appear at the right time, ideas will come with perfect clarity. If you hover in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, the solutions will reveal themselves without your strain. Let life meet you halfway. Stop running toward what is already walking toward you. Echo in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence. Be still and know that you are already connected to the source that fulfills every desire. You are not separate from your dream, you are its expression in the hearts of the ones who overlook presence. The more you relax into this truth, the more effortlessly life moves in your favor. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and remind yourself, wake home in the houses who once overlook your presence. Is nothing to fear, is nothing to force, nothing to fix. You are already in the flow of all that you seek. Once overlook your presence. Every breath you take in trust is a silent declaration to the universe that you are ready to receive. In your ear, those who once overlook your presence. And the universe always answers that declaration, not through struggle, but through grace. Koransu once overview presence. When you begin to understand that relaxation is not laziness but alignment, you open yourself to the effortless rhythm of life. Who once overlook your presence? The world has taught you to push, to strive, to work endlessly for what you want. But all that struggle creates resistance. In the one superzones, it builds a wall between you and what is already yours. Relaxation dissolves that wall, tells the universe, I am ready, I am ready, I am available. In those who once overlook your presence, I trust. And when trust replaces tension, everything begins to rearrange in your favor. Every desire carries within it the seed of its fulfillment. Overlook your presence. You don't have to force a seed to grow, you only need to create the right conditions for it to flourish. In the same way, when you nurture peace within you, if you once overlook your presence, the desires of your heart naturally begin to unfold in perfect order. You are not meant to run after them. They are drawn to your state of being. And in the hearts of those who overlook your presence. When you relax, you become magnetic, chasing and start attracting. You stop pleading and start receiving. The moment you let go of resistance, in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, when life rushes in to fill the space with what you've been asking for all along, think about how every time you were desperate for something, love, success, hearts of the ones overlook your presence, money, approval, it seemed to run further away. But the moment you stopped needing it so badly, the moment you breathed and said, who once overlook your presence, as it's okay, even if it doesn't happen, things began to move again. That's not coincidence, that's energy responding to openness. Hearts who once overlook your presence, the universe, your state of mind. If you are relaxed, life is relaxed. If you are anxious, life reflects that anxiety back to you. Hearts of those who once overlook your presence, well, you get what you feel, not what you think you want. You must begin to see relaxation as your greatest form of faith. Hearts who don't overlook your presence. Anyone can say they trust when everything looks perfect, but true faith is being calm in uncertainty. It's closing your eyes and saying, in the hosts who once overlook your presence, even though I cannot see the way, I know there is a way. That kind of peace is power. That is the energy that makes the unseen become seen. Who once overlook your presence. When you dwell in peace, you are no longer trying to make life happen. You're allowing life to happen through you. The mind will resist this. Begins to evaluate you. Answer those overlook your presence. It will tell you, if you stop worrying, you'll lose control. If you stop trying, nothing will happen. But the truth is the opposite. Once overlook your presence. When you stop forcing, life starts flowing. When you stop clutching so tightly, you create room for miracles. Who once overlook your presence. You must understand that control is an illusion born out of fear. You never truly had control over the outer world. When you're with those who once overlook your presence, you only ever had influence over your inner world. And the irony is that once you master the inner, the outer obeys without effort. Relaxation is not passive. Once overlook your presence, it is the most active state of creation. It is where imagination becomes alive. When you are relaxed, in the house who once overlook your presence, you can feel the vision clearly. You can sense the end as if it's already real. You begin to embody it in your tone, your thoughts, your breath. We're in on the hearts who once overlook your presence. And then when you live from that inner state, the outer must rearrange itself to match it. Reality is only responding to the vibration you sustain. In the hearts of those who overlook your presence. And harmony, if you can home certainty within, it must show up as harmony without. Every time you feel the need to rush, stop and breathe. Ask yourself, and so once overlook your presence. What am I afraid of? You realize that the urgency is born out of disbelief in your own power. For those who once overlook your presence, you think you must make it happen because you don't believe it's already done. But the truth is, it is done. In the unseen, in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, your desire is already formed. It is waiting for you to match its frequency. And that frequency is calm, not panic. Peace, not pressure. Love, not lack. One of those who once overlook your presence, imagine yourself as a receiver, like a radio tuning into a station. If the signal is distorted with static, worry, fear, it begins echo in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence. Frustration, you can't hear the song clearly, but when you relax and adjust the dial, the music flows effortlessly. The song was always there. In the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, you just had to tune in. In the same way, everything you desire already exists in potential. Overlook your presence. Your job is to tune your inner state to match it through relaxation and belief. So overlook your presence. You don't attract by doing more. You attract by becoming more aware of what already is. Once overlook your presence, you don't create abundance by chasing it. You create it by feeling abundant now. In the Hansos overlook your presence, you don't find love by begging for it. You draw it in by knowing you are love itself. The relaxed mind is a creative mind. Once overlook your presence. It knows there is no separation between the thought and the thing, the inner and the outer, the invisible and the visible. When you relax deeply, in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, your awareness expands, you begin to see connections you couldn't see before, ideas come easily, intuition sharpens, inspiration flows like water. You once overlook your presence, you begin to move with precision instead of pressure. Every action comes from clarity rather than confusion. You once overlook your presence. You are no longer reacting to life. You are responding from inner stillness. And from that stillness, your steps are guided perfectly. Overlook your presence. When you're at, you may have noticed that the best moments in life, the ones that felt magical, always came when you weren't forcing them. And there are those who once overlook your presence. The right person appeared when you had given up looking. The opportunity came when you least expected it. You and the others who once overlook your presence. The solution revealed itself when you stopped overthinking. That's because you had momentarily let go of resistance. Who once overlooked your presence. You had linked, you had relaxed into the natural flow of life, and life responded. The more you learn to live in this relaxed awareness, the more miracles become normal. In the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, you begin to trust that there is a divine order behind everything. Even delays become sacred. You realize that what seems like waiting is often preparation. Like in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, what seems like loss is often redirection. Nothing is against you. Everything is rearranging itself for your highest good the moment you stop fighting it. Vacuum in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence. You don't have to force yourself to believe. You only need to quiet the voice of doubt long enough to feel what's true. In the silence beyond thought, in the hearts of those who overlook your presence, or there is knowing, that knowing whispers, you are safe, you are loved, you are guided. When you touch that frequency, you can rest. When you answer those who once overlook your presence, you no longer need to prove anything or chase anything. You begin to radiate an ease that draws everything to you. Balance, overview the loss. Relaxation is the secret language of the universe. It says, I trust the process, I am aligned with the flow. The hearts of those who once overlook your presence, I know that all things are working together for my good. And in that vibration, every door opens, every path clear, every need is met. When a common who once overlook your presence, the universe delights in your ease because ease is the evidence of faith. If you truly understood the power of relaxation, so once overlook your presence, you would never rush another moment in your life. You would never doubt another dream. To echo in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, you would see that the same force that causes the planets to orbit and the sun to rise is the same force that fulfills your desire. To in the hearts of those who overlook your presence. That force doesn't need your attention, it needs your trust. When you relax, you invite synchronicities. Who once overlook your presence, you start noticing how one thing leads beautifully to another. You say yes at the right time. You meet the right person by seeming coincidence. Hearts also overlook your presence. So you find yourself in the right place without planning it. And you realize this is how creation works. It doesn't come through struggle. It begins to in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence. It comes through surrender. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world. You were meant to imagine, to feel, to believe, and then allow. Who once overlook your presence. That's the real flow of manifestation. Imagine clearly, feel as done, and then relax. The relaxed state says, the hearts of once overlook your presence. It's already mine. That faith draws it closer than all the striving in the world ever could. When you sit quietly and breathe deeply, looking in the hearts of those who once your presence overlook your presence, you begin to sense that everything you've been searching for is already within you. You begin to feel a quiet joy. Incarnates who once overlook your presence, a sense of completeness that doesn't depend on conditions. From that fullness, life begins to mirror your inner wholeness. In the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, you start attracting experiences that reflect that peace. So take a breath. Let go of the need to figure it all out. You don't need to plan every detail. In the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, right? You don't need to beg for what's already yours. Just rest in the feeling that you are supported. You are not alone in this process. Who once overlook your presence, there is an infinite intelligence orchestrating every detail, and it responds to your inner calm far more powerfully than to your words or actions. Horikun, the hearts who once overlook your presence, the more you relax, the more receptive you become. And the more receptive you are, the more you notice the small signs, the gentle nudges, in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, the intuitive impulses that guide your next step. This is not about inaction, it's about inspired action. The kind of action that feels effortless, natural, flowings. That is the action born from alignment. There is no competition in relaxation. There is no jealousy, no comparison. Who in the hearts of those who overlook your presence? You are content in your own lane because you know your path is unfolding perfectly. You trust your timing. You stop looking sideways and start looking inward. When you only hearts of those who once overlook your presence, you realize that nothing meant for you can pass you by. That realization sets you free from all anxiety, all pressure. Imagine your life as a river, and you once overlook your presence. And love, when you fight, when you lose the current, you exhaust yourself and you go nowhere. But when you let go with it, you move effortlessly toward your destination. When you are in the thousands who once overlook your presence, the current knows where to take you. Your job is only to relax and trust. The same current that moves the stars moves through you. Every great manifestation who once overlook your presence, yet every transformation begins the same way with surrender. Not the surrender of giving up, but the surrender of opening up. It is saying, in the heart of those who once overlook your presence, I no longer need to fight. I trust that whatever I imagined is already unfolding. That surrender is ultimate power. And we once overlook your presence. It is the quiet confidence that moves mountains. So many people spend their lives running in circles. They get times you answer those who overlook your presence, chasing what they could attract simply by becoming still. You do not need to chase what you are aligned with. To the ones who once overlook your presence, you only need to embody the feeling of already having it and then rest in that awareness. In the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, that's relaxation in its purest form, a calm certainty that what you seek is seeking you. Let your heart slow down. Let your breath deepen. Hearts of those who overlook your presence, let's let your mind unleash its constant grasp on how, when, they're not your concern. The one is already written in perfect time. In the hearts of ones who once overlook your presence. Your only task is to maintain inner peace, to dwell in the vibration of already being fulfilled. When you live this way, your life becomes effortless. When you not once overlook your presence, you no longer wake up in resistance. You begin each day knowing that life is working through you, not against you. You feel a lightness in the hearts of you, those who once hold your presence, a quiet joy that doesn't depend on results. And from that place, results come faster and smoother than ever before. Echo on the hearts who once overlook your presence. Relaxation is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. It connects the invisible idea to visible form. Every great creator, in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, every visionary has known this truth in their own way. When they stopped struggling, inspiration flowed. When they trusted their vision, reality followed. Act in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence. You are no different. The same creative power lies within you, waiting for you to relax enough to let it express itself. Hearts of those who overlook your presence. In the stillness of your being lies every answer, every miracle, every solution. All that you are trying to become, you already are in essence. So once overlook your presence. So the moment you accept this, you can rest. When you rest, everything begins to come to you naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. So relax. The Hans who once overlook your presence, not because you are giving up, but because you finally understand. You understand that nothing is missing, nothing is broken, nothing is delayed. When answer those who only hearts that overlook your presence, life has been waiting to stop fighting you, to stop fighting and start trusting. The moment you let go of fear, the moment you choose peace over pressure, or you once overlook your presence, everything you've been asking for begins to find its way to you. Is to echo in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence. The doors you've been knocking on open effortlessly because they were never locked. You are just holding them shut with your tension. When you relax, once overlook your presence, you declare to the universe, I am ready to receive. You align with the rhythm of creation itself. You move from force to flow when the hearts of those who once overlook your presence, from striving, in that allowing, and in life becomes miraculous. What once seemed distant now stands right before you. Overlook your lies out here to empower. Once felt impossible now unfolds naturally as breath. So breathe, trust, allow. Home you in the hearts of those who once overlook your presence. Everything you have ever dreamed of is already on its way, waiting for your calm heart to finally say, I'm ready now.